Mic check. Chuck P, how you doing, buddy? Totally say I'm late. So, how you doing, Chuck? Right, I should move the camera real quick. While you're on me, I'll just move it over here. Ooh, that stone is warm. It's in my hand. Switch it around. I'm going to try some new camera angle stuff today and see how well that works for me. Light this area a little bit better. Well, Chuck P was here, and then it looks like I've got no viewers all of a sudden. It says I've been live for 30 seconds. I saw the notification go up, too. So I expect that there's some people here. If you don't know, I'm your homeboy Caleko. And today I'm going to be carving some fire agate. I'm just going to keep going along as if I have a room full of people. This is a piece of fire agate that on my last live stream I was carving on a little bit. And off of camera, I cut this section a little bit deeper and rounded this section a little bit more after I got the power back on, testing the power. But now what I'm going to do is this is about ready to be dopped before I go on to the next stage of carving, which I'm not quite ready for the next stage of carving yet either. So I'm going to dop that piece, put it on this stick right here. See if I can get some of that wax in there hot. And my fingers aren't wet, but I got a little bit of water over here next to me. If you don't know how to dop a stone, we'll go over it real quick. It's pretty simple. You definitely want to have one of these dop buddies. You want to use the rim to warm up your stone. Once your stone is warm, it'll end up accepting the wax really well. And then before you touch the wax with your bare hands, you want to have your bare hands wet in case you don't know. I got a bit more wax on there than I think I need, to tell you the truth, but I can just smooth some of that down. I even that stone out a little bit. Big, thick base of wax that I really don't need, but it's not going to matter much. It's on there pretty good. Let that cool off. Turn that off. Move this out of your guys' way. Or I'll just flip you around real quick. I got one person here. Who is that one person? Is it still Chuck P? Or is it me? Am I the only person in this room right now? Totally watch it later, even if I am the only person in the room right now. Now, last time I was doing this, I was trying to use a different camera setup, and I came up with this one I'm about to try right here, right now, and I believe it's going to work very well. I believe that, but doesn't mean that my beliefs are exactly true. But I do believe this camera setup is going to work very well right here. Let me move my light so you guys get some light on the stone. Actually, if my camera light was on, my flash was on, that would be awesome. Can I do that? Let me see if I can do that in the settings here. Enable flash. There we go. I might not need this now. Oh yeah, I don't need that light now. Turn down this drip. It's going a little too fast. A little faster than I need. There we go. Stone's looking pretty good. Now what I'm using here is a 8120 hog burr. That's what this is, an 8120 hog burr. And what I'm doing is I am just roughing out the stones some more, trying to get some of the areas that still have a bunch of brown on them or shape up the stone. So I'm going to do that while you guys are on camera. Right now. And I've got some white and some bronze and some brown right there, but really what I want to do is I sort of want to shape this a little bit better, this side right here a little bit better. And then I also want to see about finding some color on this edge right here. Looks like I got a bad angle. Let me see if I can change up this angle. That might be a bit better. Sure does look pretty good on the screen. Ooh, that's hot on my hand though. Very possible I have a bad angle on that. Maybe there's nothing underneath that little side right there. Oh, looks like we got some stuff starting to show up there. Might just have to let that edge go right there. That's what I'm thinking. Probably just gonna have to let that edge go. Maybe that's the end of that good stone right there. Maybe, don't you know? Notice that a little bit of a Midwest sounding accent. Wasn't intentional, but figured why not just go with it. I'm using real light strokes, and this 80-20 is like really, really aggressive. It'll, you know, burn through, but if you look right here, you can see there are layers. And this is what I was using to cut down all of this and get to that layer of color in there. Get this section shaped. Sort of hard to just keep my gab running while I'm working sometimes. Sometimes I can't think of what to say while I'm trying to figure out what's the next best way to cut on the stone. Whoops, I'm out of shot there. But I tell you what, the camera angle I'm trying to use right here, I might be a little bit too tight in. But it's definitely better than what I was doing last time. That's for sure. Elk Slayer loves the green. There is more green underneath this copper and orange right here, but I'm not necessarily wanting to expose all the green with the 80-20 grit, so I'm gonna step down to a different grit before I go real hardcore on that area right there. Right now I'm using this 80-20 just to try and get the general shape and color out. That stone is starting to really light up on that circular angle of that tip really nicely. That area really sort of aggravates me a little bit. Like that great hardcore color just not showing up there. But inspecting the stone itself, I think I could step to another grit if I want to. I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea at all. I definitely cut through that layer of color right there. I'm not convinced at that angle there's more color right there, so I'm thinking that this stone's going to get lopped off right along that green line, and that this is going to end up being the stone. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to switch. Switch hand pieces real quick, which I did this the other day and it was pretty easy for me. Oh, maybe I wasn't just using my fingers though. I was probably using this. Elk Slayer says that I inspired him to get his cutting wheel out yesterday. Need to watch ones on that as well. Darn near killed myself with that wheel. Well, what do you mean when you're talking about cutting wheels? Are you talking about cutting wheels like this cutting wheel? Or are you talking... Whoa, I forgot I'm mic'd in. I can't go up there and get it, I don't think. Maybe I can. Or are you talking about a cutting wheel, you know, like a cutting wheel like this? Like, what type of wheel do you mean, Elk Slayer? Since we're live, we can have a conversation. Like, that would be my question. What do you mean by cutting table with a blade on it? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry you almost did that. And to take this off, there's a little ball peen right there. You just need to basically get this pincher to move so you can get the ball to move, and then you're able to wiggle that out. You don't have to take it completely off. You just need to get it to where it's loose. And then to install it, once again on the other one, say I got the little ball right there, so I just sort of give it a push up and a twist, and that pops it out. And then inside, what you're not going to be able to see, I don't think, is there is a little notch where you want to make this fit in there. So you get that inside of the notch, and you'll be able to tell when you have it into the notch because you'll be able to, although just trying to like turn it and get it in there doesn't work. You need to eye get it. You need to look at it, find it, the spot, and see if you can get it to sit in there just right, because you can basically turn the thing. It's not wanting to go easily for me right now. I've done this a couple of times where I haven't been on camera, and it's just like pop, pop, but now, because I'm on camera, you know, nothing wants to work right. There's got to be that one thing. Ah, see, there it goes. So you didn't see it, but when I got it, the whole thing slips in, and it gets, you know, flush right there. So once you got it like that, you just want to make sure you know where your ball is. Spin the piece until you're there, and voila, you're ready with the other hand piece. That didn't take near as long as it felt like, I'll bet. It felt like it took a while. I am right now going to go to a 120. Oh shoot. So I just did all that, and the funny part is I still need the other handle. I don't need this one. So I just did all of that, and it was a total waste of time. Get this other one now, the part that always screws me up. There we go. Got it. Spin it onto the bearing. Yahtzee, we're in. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm in. Cool. So this handle's not that bad, but if I'm not careful with it, it totally burns my skin. That's the only problem I have with this handle. This thing sticks out so much, and the burrs stick out from it so much that this thing will touch my skin while it's rotating, and man, that does not feel good at all, I tell you what. No good feeling at all. All right, now I've got the, what is it? 120, 240 burr on here. I think I lost the light again. I gotta. Got to enable flash. Woo. Let me see, get my angle proper again. Now I'm not really going to chase inside that valley right there. In order to do that, I really need my inverted cone, and I don't want to chase down in that little area where you see the gray sort of in there yet, because I don't have a 120 inverted cone. I have a 325 400, so I'm going to have to use that one to do it. So to basically smooth out some of the stuff I was working out before, I'm going to use this one. Oh, getting my hand hot there. Using circular motion so I can round off the area I was just sort of grinding on and shaping before, and it's not just flat, digging spot. Want to sort of avoid that as much as possible, but sometimes, depending on the piece, I still do that. I'll forget to do, circular motions and try and round something off and just try and go for the color I'm trying to find. Also, with this thing in my hand, it ends up being like a wrist motion, which doesn't really feel all that awesome. Let's go over here. Now, the thing about fire agate is I don't need to use near as much water as I actually am. I mean, if I was wearing better respiration and if I wasn't worried about, silicosis and stuff like that, the amount of water on fire agate is not needed as much as, say, opal or other stones that are heat sensitive, because the fire agate itself is not very heat sensitive. You can really do a lot of work on fire agate with no water if you wanted to before you tended to fracture the stone just from the heat working on it. This stone's really got some stuff starting to show up with this 120. Some great color starting to appear. Starting to get that whole full round shine on this one little tip right here. Let me see. Let me see. I'm really going to try and shape this bottom real quick with this. You know, I haven't made any decisions yet on what's going to the winners of anything, so the first thing I'm going to do is get my little girl's thing done before her graduation, but everybody else's stones should be right behind that, if not getting done with it, depending on how the final polishing stages happen. So that's just a FYI for my my patrons and my viewers. And it looks like I might have sort of screwed that stone up a little bit by the angle and looking at that grayness right there. Like there might have been a layer of color right there that I missed because of the angle I was going at it. That's possible. Totally possible. Well, I can look at the camera this direction, unlike I couldn't do that last time, and I can definitely see that the camera shot is way better on showing up the color like this, like you guys are definitely seeing what I'm doing. At the same time, it is horrible for my back. The way I'm sitting sucks. I need to figure out some way to get this same camera shot and camera angle without making it so strenuous on me, to tell you the truth. That would be a great plan and idea. I do also, this foot pedal unit I'm using, the Prodigy, I do definitely like this as a regular use way more than the constantly rotating one. Being able to sort of pump the pedal and determine the speed I want by what kind of action I'm trying to make, instead of the thing just going full out all the time. I definitely appreciate that. I'm sure if you have a really nice foredrum that it won't affect you at all because you've already had this. But seeing that I was running on a $40 unit and, you know, spending thousands of dollars to go out and record videos, this $90 unit's a great step up. Awesome. Yeah, I think this goes flat right to that area. Cultivate the color on the round. You know, sometimes when you're chasing this fire, sometimes it just tells you exactly where you need to go. And I mean, I'm still a noob at this, and it just wants you to go certain angles, and you can feel it, and you just sort of, your hands drift across it, and you just keep going that direction. And then other times I just sort of feel lost. I should say me instead of you when I start references and statements like this, but sometimes I just sort of feel lost and don't know where to go next. Usually in the past I've just put stones down and not messed with them, but now I've gotten to the point to where, like, the stones I'm really scared of screwing up, I just don't work in that direction, or put it away until I'm more comfortable to work on it, or until I buy the proper tool. at the same time, having a large selection of fire agate helps that whole process aspect of it. I think I want to switch to a. I think I want to switch to the 300. I think we're getting about ready to switch to the 300. Such a pretty stone. I love fire agate, man. It's hard not to love fire agate. Really, really is. On that edge, I can't tell if that's green under there, if that's just going away to gray. It's probably green, but you never really can tell sometimes. Sometimes you just can't tell. I don't know what's going on. It looks like I got some sort of, almost looks like wax in the way or something. Oop, that was hot. Maybe that's ready to go to the 3. Nope, not quite. Not quite ready for the 3. Although I see if I go through the green right there, it's almost like a bronze purple underneath, but I don't want to fight with it too much. Although that looks like there's another layer underneath where that gray is on that corner. Yeah, I don't want to fight with it too much. I want it to give me good color easily. I'm going to switch to the 3 just because that way I don't go too deep on accident and lose a color that's right there. That's never a good feeling. Where is my hand tool for taking it out? There it is. yeah, don't want to, I don't want to lose any of that great color I have going on there right now. So I'm just going to keep shaping the stone, but stepping down in burrs. Or I guess the numbers go up, but the aggressiveness goes down. So the one I'm stepping into right now is a Varan core, still a hog burr, bigger than a 3/32 shaft. Oh, that's not tight. And I've got my finger on the pedal too. That would have sucked. Or my foot on the pedal. All right, I think that's tight. Yeah, that's tight. So now I am going to a 325 to 400. And let me turn the flash on the camera back on. Enable flash. All right. Start with this, and then I'll end up jumping to the inverted cone. I'm just doing the same thing I was doing last time. I'm running over the same areas. I'm trying to get some of the scratches out, show some of the brightness of this stone, not change the shape too much. That's something you want to, I need to focus on when I'm carving stones, is making sure I don't change the shape. You know, losing the color is a big deal too. Don't want to lose the color. But one of the things about some of the fire agate is that changing the shape, you might end up losing the color at certain angles. So you definitely want to make it to, if you can at all, to where the color ends up showing up at all angles from the stone. And usually that's just carving the fire really close to it and really well. You can see I'm like following the creases. I think you can see. I'm not watching through my screen while I do all my work. I can't. I need to look at the stone. That area needs an inverted cone, and it looks like the bottom of it's starting to lose its color. Avoiding that area, it looks like it might be losing its color. Don't want to deal with that. Sorry, forgetting to talk, focusing on not screwing the stone up. A lot of times that's what's going through my head. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Oh, did I go too far? Oh, am I losing color? Don't want to do that. Constantly second guessing, but I'm not a professional at carving this stuff yet. Nowhere near. I'm definitely still making some mistakes. Definitely still making some mistakes here and there. Yeah, see, I can see layers of color now. Now there's like 2 or 3 layers of that orange before you get to that green. And there's nothing saying that on that layer it's actually going to stay that color either. The colors don't necessarily run uniform. You know, it can go from a red, green, and purple all on the same color line. At least with Opal Hill Fire Agate it can, that's for sure. Actually, I think I'm right around the corner on this one from taking it to the inverted cone. Whoops, too high. Who's got color pointing at me from all directions? See, but you know, you should have your own music on in the background. That's the good thing about this is I'm not forcing you to adhere to the music I like. Although I think all the music I pick is just absolutely amazing, and if you don't like it, well, then you're just not smart. But you know, that's just because I'm the one picking it. It's that whole DJ has a better musical ear than everybody else. That's just I'm a DJ, being insulting to everybody else. You know that whole thing. Especially when you're like a DJ, it's absolutely done nothing with a DJ career. I think I'm ready for the inverted cone with this one now. I think I'm ready for the inverted cone. Get down to that green layer and hopefully have mainly green layer. Let's see, switching out the handle again, but this time I'm a stupid thing. Come on, my hands are wet. There we go. Oh, maybe I went the wrong way. Nope, that's good enough. That one's good enough. So everybody we got there watching but not even chatting, I'm sort of surprised. Usually the people I got in here sort of talkative about some stuff or another. But if you're trying to learn a little something, that makes sense. Go in, silly thing. Come on, man, you were right there. Now I'm just turning it. That should be it. I'm getting all frustrated. There we go. Yay. All I need to do is say frustrated, and it worked. Sweet. So now I am putting this on the side and going to the 325-400 inverted cone right here, and this quick release, which I like working with so much better than the other one. I can get tight on it, I can hold it up like that, and it's not going to burn my hand from the friction. It's awesome. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Sorry about the jerky camera, guys. There we go, flash is on. Oh, out of camera angle. I need to turn that a little bit. That's the problem is. Oh, sorry, making you guys seasick. Going around the edges, or you know what would be considered the edges of the lines I made with the other burrs, and putting the inverted cone on the back side of the edge, trying to make the edge sort of disappear so the light rolls and around. You see how the spot of light goes from this tip directly up onto the other stone right there. One of the things I've been noticing when I've seen some other people carve fire agate and they have a ledge is that there's the way the light plays, it doesn't play off both sides of the color, so you end up having to turn it to see the color on the other one along with on the top. And I believe this will keep that from happening. If where you have your ledge, if you take your inverted cone and put it on the inside of the ledge to where it's basically putting the line underneath of the ledge, so the light will end up basically rolling from one side to the other, and you get color on both sides of the stone. So that's the idea with that one. I mean, really, if you want to get good at carving fire agate, start carving it. The reality is that this is definitely a hands-on learning thing. You can only learn so much by watching somebody do this, sort of like the art of glass blowing. You can only learn so much in glass blowing by watching other people glass blow. At some point, you have to start getting your hands in there so you can feel how the liquid molten glass moves from one spot to another and such. And then that's really where the skills start to set in of being able to do it instead of just, you know, being able to talk about it. With this inverted cone, I end up moving the stone in circles more than the cone so much. sort of forgetting to hit it with water like I need to. I have a little dark patch right here. I have this little rolling section of dark patch that's sitting right on top of color, and I think it's just because of the angle of that piece of agate. So I'm trying to basically bevel it underneath and get rid of the dark patch so it's not optically visible. Maybe I'm going to cause more problems than I'm going to solve. But then maybe not, because it is sort of making it go away. It's giving it a different angle. Oh, sitting like this is killing me, guys. Let's see how much more of this I got in me. Let's start finishing this stone off. Still on camera shot, I am. Dum da 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 da. See, that is a green that's on top of that orange, which makes me really wonder if it's going to get more green if I just keep carving through the orange. I'm not absolutely confident that that's what's going to happen, but that's what I'm going to go for. Let's see. Whoopsie, whoopsie. I think maybe we will go with a, whoopsie. I think maybe I'll switch to a bullet. Switch to a bullet. And I'm just going over like the general areas, trying to work away some of the bronze, get the green to show up without having a bunch of dead patches. Go in at the wrong angle and lose the color in that spot, and it just really sort of sucks. So I'm trying to not let that happen by going over areas that are bronze but haven't been, doesn't look like the color's been gone through. All right. My fire agate still looks like a fire agate. That's good. It hasn't stopped looking like a fire agate, which is important. And I tell you what, I am going to shut this one down, take a break, eat some lunch, and then when I come back, I am going to show you guys some of the easiest fire agate in the world to carve. It's like this super gem grade comes out of the ground, uber lit up. It was on my live stream last night. Here's where we're at so far with this. Looks like I'm going to have a gemstone that's about like that, which is a nice sized gemstone, bigger than my thumbnail, which is is a large sized gemstone. So I'm still going to have a really good gemstone coming out of this. I'm not sure how much orange or how much green is going to be in it yet, but it's still a fantastic looking stone. And there is more layers under than what we see up here too. There are definitely more layers under there. So I'm going to put this aside till later, maybe tomorrow. My hand's starting to cramp up, which isn't good because I have a trigger finger and stuff like that. But let me find the stone that I'm going to be working for you guys when I come back here later this afternoon. I'm looking for it right now. Here it is. Shoot! I just dropped 2 stones. And I got a cramp. Alright, so here's the stone that I'm going to be working when I come back. It's got heavy purples, it's got some green in it and some red, but the purple in it is so purple that it's almost black. Very light bronze coloring. All the color on this is on top. It has like this patina of iron. And so I'm not even going to have to go at this, I don't think, with really aggressive burrs. I'm going to be able to just take some Nova style wheels and see what happens with this. And that's going to be sort of a little testing it out thing. And then depending on how long this takes and what goes on, I might pull this one out too. This is one of those pieces. It comes out, it was a real thin piece, but it came out of the ground screaming hello, as you can see. So we might see what happens with this one here in about an hour. Maybe a little bit longer. Let me see. It doesn't look like I have any chat on. Let me go and just going on? My screen's not working when I'm pressing on it. Oh, my screen is frozen. Well, my screen is apparently frozen. The timer is still going. But I see that it says there's 12 people here, but I can't see anybody's chat. There, away we go. Here we go. Live chat. Bing! Wow, there's been a bunch of chat I've been missing. Let me see. I had it on Super Cut. It's Super Chat. Elk Slayer says, I saw how you did a magic trick on getting the hose on. Alyssa says, hello. It's only 5 p.m. for her. Elk Slayer asked, what is the start and finish grade of sanding wheels I use? Are you talking about burrs or wheels? If you're talking about burrs, then they start at 80, 120 and go up to 600. If you're talking about wheels, then wheels like on set equipment over there, then we're more talking about, let's see, still 80, 120 up to 3,000 is what I have. I don't have anything bigger than 3,000 right now. So that's the answer that was asked a long time ago, like 30 minutes ago. Let's see. Elk Slayer says, if you've not made a decision yet on the giveaway, I can help you out. Just send them to me. Ha ha ha. The giveaways have already been decided, Elk Slayer. Elk Slayer asks if I mounted the camera above. No, it is directly in front of me. It's basically sitting in my lap, and then I'm going around it in order to carve. So I need to figure out something else. Drew said, new to your channel, what are you using for grinding? That's a very good question. I am using a, I actually have a video about this, so you should check my recent videos. It went up like a couple of weeks ago. This itself is a Prodigy flex shaft. It came from riogrand.com. This is a quick release handle. This is not what comes with it. You buy this separate for 45 bucks or something like that. And that's the flex shaft up there. Prodigy flex shaft. It's a knockoff of the Dremel 4 drum, but it's really well priced and it works amazing. So I mean, for 120 bucks for a quick release handle and the handle that comes with it and the foot pedal, it's really, really worth it. Durs 34. What up, Jason? How you doing? Happy Sunday, man. Drew has said, he said I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Drays said that he's definitely here to learn. Let's see what other people have said. It is hot where I'm at. Somebody asked how the weather is. It's hot and humid where I'm at. I have a fan on the floor behind me making this tolerable at all. It makes it pretty tolerable as long as I have a fan on me constantly. Sarah's Lynn is happy she's finally seeing this live. She's going to lunch. It's only 10:04 a.m. That's funny. Thank you very much, Daddy 24/7. I appreciate that. Some people would argue with you, but I won't right now. All right, everybody. So I am going to take a break and get something to eat. And where I'm at, you know, it's around noon. And I'm going to come back on in about an hour. And when I come back on in an hour, we will see the carving of these two wonderful pieces right here. Or at least one of these pieces will go up carving. This one I think is going to be the easiest. I think this is going to end up being the gift for my daughter's graduation. It's a pretty startlingly amazing piece. So, Jason, you're funny, dude. Where's Mr. I'm taking the day off now? He's getting his paycheck. This fool got to get paid to buy rocks. What? I'll see y'all in about an hour.